that important amenity to our neighborhoods. Another thing is, the presence of industrial land near the Metropolitan Branch Trail and the Red Line. And I know that there are other communities like Brentwood that, have similar concerns. But within 5E, Edgewood and Eckington in particular have, a shared interest in managing that transition responsibly. So I'll stop there. I appreciate very much your consideration of that modest proposal. And as I said before, we would be very happy to engage with you if there are specific options you identify that you want further public input on. So thank you very much.
Great. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Mr. Nelson here, but I did want to acknowledge Commissioner Branham has joined us and he's asked to speak. So I'm going to, Commissioner Branham, I'll bring you up after Mr. Nelson and just give you the 5 minutes that folks have. So with that, I will turn it over to Mr. Nelson. Please take it away.
Good afternoon, and thank you again for having me on. I'll speak very briefly. I'm a resident in the Arboretum neighborhood, which is in 5C. So I want to speak on something that I think is very, very important for the small group of neighborhoods that is in the eastern part of Ward 5. So we all know about, violence and increased carjackings, et cetera, but I want to speak more about keeping a cohesive ANC boundary and single member districts. For the most part, I believe that if we are able to keep the neighborhoods in the eastern part of Ward 5C together, I believe as a collective, we can have a stronger voice when it comes to any of the issues that we have a common issue with. For example, we are looking at development in the eastern part of this ward. We want to see Douglas Development do something with New City. It's been quite a few years and there has been no movement on that large piece of property located between New York Avenue Northeast and Bladensburg Road. Keeping a collective voice between the neighborhoods Arboretum, Gateway, Fort Lincoln, Ivy City, we'll be able to, as a collective to, I think, voice our opinions in terms of what we want to see happen, not just at that land, but we want to see things like bicycle lanes on Bladensburg Road. We want to see a cleaner neighborhood in terms of less trash being dumped in the neighborhoods. We want to see traffic slow down in our neighborhoods. So whatever you all do in terms of redistricting, I believe that it's important that you keep the neighborhoods, all these small neighborhoods like the Arboretum and Gateway together, so that as a collective voice, we can be more powerful and having our voice heard before the city council and before developers. That's pretty much all that I have. If you want me to get more involved, I'm happy to do so. The neighborhood, the Arboretum, Gateway are very, very active with people who like to be involved and be in the know. But for the most part, again, not to be redundant, but we just want to be cohesive so that we can have a collective voice and be heard when we speak. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for taking the time and coming out to do that. I will turn it over to Commissioner Branham here in a second. I did want to mention, as far as engagement going forward, we've got these meetings set up every other Tuesday. So the next one is Tuesday, February 22nd on Zoom. And the one after that will be March 8th. And we are, I don't know, we haven't discussed the details, but we are moving to the phase where the sort of nitty gritty, the rubber hits the road, if you will. And so those are the meetings that folks will have a chance to engage in and take part in the future, or rather, anyway, let me turn it over to Commissioner Branham. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Brother Nolan. Greetings and salutations, everyone. I will keep my comments very, very brief. As a commissioner on ANC 5E, I would, before there's any consideration or movement to break up commissions in the N5E, that there be some valid and respectful conversations and presentations and justifications to the current members of the 5E Commission and the serving communities. There may be some reasons why certain community residents would like to, and I'm going to use the political term, secede from the 5E Union, but I would hope that that any movement toward secession is seriously considered as to how it would impact all of the residents and in the that are served in 5E. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Commissioner Branham. Do any of the members of the committee want to speak, or is there any? Do you have any questions for any of the folks the panelists who spoke? Do not see anyone else that wants to speak. This isn't the only opportunity for input. The forum to submit feedback to the committee is actually going to be open until Tuesday, February 22nd. So if you know someone who wanted to get a chance to submit some ideas and didn't, they can do that. But I'm going to move that we adjourn this meeting, and this committee will reconvene in 2 weeks here on Zoom to keep up this work. Thanks everyone for coming.
All right. Good night.
Evening, everybody.
Thank you. Have a great evening.
Good evening. Have a great evening.